How's it going, YouTube? Levi with JankNDthings. I have some pretty exciting updates. I've been very busy. It doesn't feel like I've been busy with things that I would have normally been doing over the last year inside of my business, but laying down a lot of infrastructure. And excited to say that I have a website up, JankNDthings.com. I am working on building out some singles and that sort of stuff on there right now. I do have some Japanese sealed products coming, and those will be going up hopefully sometime this week. But yeah, I am very excited for that. I'm hoping going to be able to pass a lot of value on to consumers, whoever might be looking to buy some cards from me, rather than eBay that takes an extra 13%. Hopefully, I can shave off 10% from that and try and build a good customer base and cultivate loyalty, things like that. That's a big word, cultivate. Corporate word for sure. That was a good brownie points word. Anyway, yeah, very excited for that. There is a lot of work that goes into something like that. I built it through Wix, and I tried quite a few times to use Wix's AI and prompts and things like that to figure stuff out, but I just couldn't quite get it for some reason. But I was able to use an AI service that I use quite a bit, Claude, and just took screenshots of what I was doing and where I needed to go, and basically anything that I was stuck on or stumped on, it walked me through and gave me the right tools and the right direction to get it done. So yeah, it is live. There's about 42 singles on there right now. I should be uploading some more, hopefully here tonight. Maybe another. I've been doing about batches of 50, and yeah, I am hoping to get maybe another two batches. Depends on how long I can ramble on to you guys. But yeah. Very excited for that, and hoping to be able to grow that, and that's what I'm doing here, is promoting that. I of course have I'll have all my singles and stuff like that on my eBay store as well. JankNDthings. If you just search that in eBay, that will pull up my store. So if you are skeptical towards things like that, absolutely. There will be plenty of singles on the eBay store still. And unfortunately, right now, I did my first card show, and there were quite a few blunders there with keeping track of inventory. I had closer to 1,000 cards on my website and eBay, but there's more than you can possibly imagine when it comes to vending. Is techniques and different ways to organize things and display things, and rather than keep track of inventory on the upfront side of things when I'm scanning in my cards with my Fujitsu scanner, or Ricoh scanner now. I think they used to be called the Fujitsu scanner, but rather than keeping track of cards on the upfront side of things, I was just trying to pump things out and get them listed as soon as I possibly could. So that didn't bode well for the back end after the show. Everything was unorganized. When you're doing this, and this is a SKU system, chaos sorting. you have to keep all these SKUs in order, otherwise you won't be able to find anything. So that was a big blunder on my part of things, because I got back, and right now I am ripping all of my cards out of top loaders, and um, I am going to be implementing a better SKU system with stickers physically on the back side of cards, so I can know their position, and when I get back from a show, I will be able to get them back to the proper placement inside of the inventory. So pretty steep learning curve. Vending is, I would say. I think I did pretty well for my first show. I probably did about 1,500 in sales. It was in our local area, Dickinson, North Dakota. There's about 18,000 people in Dickinson. The population maybe 20,000. So not a huge town, but seemed like a pretty decent turnout. I wasn't really sure what to expect as far as that was going to go. So 1,500 in sales roughly, if I had to guess, and but there were a lot of purchases made. So that was awesome. I was pretty stoked about that. Some purchases I made have already sold off of my eBay store, unfortunately, not my website. But that's what this video is going to do, and all further videos past this point will be directing traffic to the website over eBay, and I think that will be able to provide hopefully a lot of value. And but yeah, anyway. The show was good. Spent probably 4,000, and it was kind of a thing of beauty at times. My most notable time was taking trade on some slabs, and then those slabs caught somebody else's eye, and I took trade towards those slabs. And one of those cards has sold since then on eBay. So I think all in all, it was a 10 to 4 show, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. show, and definitely when it first opened up, it was ripping and roaring pretty good. So that was great. But I think it definitely petered off towards 1:30, 2 o'clock. It was kind of quite a bit slower. So I think that if I could optimize with like a 2-day show, that would probably be a big help to be able to keep things in a case. The infrastructure is there already for selling. It's a card show. People want to buy cards if they're there. That's what they're there to do. They're there to shop around and trade and yeah. So that would probably be my hope for the future, is that maybe I can do some 2-day shows and things like that really take advantage, or it was really intimidating at first, getting set up. There's some places that will only give you an hour to set up. We had 2 hours, and at first I was like, oh, this is going to be no problem. I'll knock this out, and it'll be great, easy peasy. But 9:30 rolled around, and I was still getting top loaders into my cases and stuff like that, top loaders with cards, and yeah, there's a lot of work behind it. I had 2 tables. I had a little bit of sealed, and 3 cases, 2 with top loaders, 2 with some of the sealed packs and sealed cards or sealed products, and then some graded stuff as well. Not a ton of graded, but I did walk away with quite a bit of graded cards that I picked up. Kind of a few more nines than I would have liked, but one guy was there and he was kind of wanting to, I think, unload most of his stuff, so kind of a package deal, but definitely worth it. I haven't sold slabs on my eBay store for a while. Kind of heard mixed reviews as far as slabs on a website go, but you know, I'll probably get them up there eventually. But it was a good show. It was a lot of fun. A lot of prep work goes on behind those things that I definitely didn't realize. Pricing all these cards and you know, I'm definitely still in the hole from what I spent in preparation. But you know, if you so I spent maybe about $4,000. Roughly 75% was the average that I was buying at. So if you count, you know, a 25% margin there, if I was able to sell everything, you know, that's about $1,000 in value. So there's that. The $1,500 in sales, that's probably 15% margin. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, $1,200, $1,300 was net profit, somewhere in there. For a 6-hour show, I felt like that wasn't too bad. And, you know, I'm able to have more things to stock my website, more things to stock eBay, and more things for the next show. Right now I have one scheduled in August. It's in Bismarck, North Dakota. That's a 2-day show, so I'm hoping that one's good. And yeah, very, very excited for that. Claude is a huge part of my business. I guess that's my transition. So the AI that is out there is just ridiculously good. I mean, there's times where you have to do some really just lay it on thick, some really big coaching that just seems like, really, this is the fourth time I've had to tell you this, but you know, all in all, it's really pretty intuitive. So I've been using that when I'm on my computer, when I'm on my laptop. I have AI pulled up, and it is constantly running, asking questions, building spreadsheets and things like that. It's insane what it can do. The way I have things set up right now is run things through the scanner, get a CSV of just whatever was run through the scanner through TCG Automate, to use that to upload to eBay. But before I do that, I had Claude, the AI program, build a converter from the TCG Automate CSV that will take that CSV, run it through a converter, and it will spit out a CSV that I can upload products into my Wix website. So, I mean, I know nothing about any of this stuff, and it's just insane that I'm able to utilize programs like this that, you know, have just so much automation. There's definitely, you know, front end loading and things like that you have to do to give it the right prompts. To you got to come up with the idea, but it can build it for you in a lot of different ways. It's just it's crazy. So that's kind of been my my workflow: scan cards, upload them to TCG, automate, um, and then kind of go through. I've actually I've actually got it to where on TCG Automate you have to trim titles and things like that. I've got the converter that Claude built that will auto trim titles to appropriate titles that kind of utilize eBay's keywords as much as possible. And with Wix, they're a little bit shorter, but I you know I haven't had time to look into if that's necessary to trying to do anything else that to get better keywords or anything. But yeah, it is really it's like just on easy mode, for how much you can cast out there into multiple different platforms. It's if I had to make listings for all these things, the old-fashioned way, the way I would have done them 2 years ago, the old-fashioned way, yeah. There's no way I'd have time for anything like this. There's no way I'd have. Uh, I mean, most of my sales last year came from graded plays. A lot of it just because it was basically all I had to do, aside from organizing things on my phone and stuff like that. Once they were graded, was just sift through and pre-grade. Um, so that I was able to do. A majority of my sales was just through that, and just sending cards off to Dan for the CGC by Fanatics. That was definitely a big part. But this year, I'm trying to. I mean, I still have some graded plays, but I'm definitely trying to move more into the singles, of just raw singles. Um, so anyway, last year bulk of my sales was through graded plays, because that's all I really had time for. Because I would come down here, sift through cards, and find the gradables, send the raw cards off to Grimer. Grimer Collects. Shout out to him. He's got a consignment service for selling your graded, rather your ungraded copies of cards, and grading misses. Obviously, if it's near mint, you'll be doing better. If it's slightly played, you're gonna get dinged a bit more as far as the price goes on eBay Lives. But yeah, it was just rinse and repeat. Buy cards, sift through them, send the gradables, damage cards or anything that was lower end stuff, I would send to Skya, that one guy. He's got a great service for selling your cards on TCG Player. And then anything above $5 or so would just go to Grimer. But that's what I had time for. Now down here, I'm definitely working more overall, trying to build up some of these things, and figure out different processes and things like that. But I think it's going to be worth it. I think that hopefully what I am building from the ground up will one day be a sizable channel, hopefully sizable website, and sizable customer base that I will be able to move into this full time. For the last 2 years, it just felt like it's just right there. It's kind of hard to put into words that feeling. I imagine that a lot of the people that have gone full time, that are in my sphere of influencers or acquaintances, business partners, whatever you want to call it, that maybe that's kind of how they felt leading up to it. Maybe that's, if that's something that you want, that that's just kind of the natural way to feel about it. So um, it feels really close though. It feels like right now I have more time than capital. So you know, I think I think right now I would, if I could do shows regularly, I think maybe that would be possible. But logistically, I have two kids. Um, Baseball season's going on right now. Vacation time and things. It's just kind of busy. So, but my son did do the show with me. He was a big help there. Definitely just an extra set of eyes on teenage kids flipping through binders that seem like maybe they could be up to something, but it's kind of hard to catch them in the act at times. But um, so hopefully it could be a family kind of event if that were going on. But um, we do homeschool our kids, so we could definitely work around and make things happen in that manner. But it feels like it's close, and I'm definitely not going to jump the gun on anything, because even though it feels like it's close, there's still going to be health insurance and things like that are just. I guess I haven't done a lot of research, but I'm estimating that it's probably going to be an extra 15 to 20,000. I believe that would be tax deductible, so that's not the worst thing. I'd be able to pay for that up front, I believe, but I still have to do some research on that. But that's a large chunk to be able to make up for. It really is insane what the way America's set up you have to have a business model. You have to have something that's scalable. Really, my job, it's a very stable job. Great benefits, great pay. 40 hours, 45 hours a week. Weekends off. It's like my dream job. From that I always looked forward to, always wanted. But 3-4 years ago, I just really started wanting to do my own thing, and I tried quite a few things that I thought could be my one thing, but I knew people were doing this Pokemon thing at the time full time, but it definitely wasn't as mainstream. And I think Dan talks about, he knows more people today making 250 or 500,000 than he did people making 100,000 5 years ago for the year. So it's it's definitely ripping and roaring, which is awesome. I love doing this stuff. It's just a fun time overall, and I can't wait till I can do it full time. But I definitely don't want to jump the gun. There's multiple reasons: health insurance, and then self-employment taxes, and all that sort of stuff. It adds up. Right now, everything that I'm making is just going into the business, so there is no not really any taxes or anything like that. Maybe a little bit, but really hardly anything. No obligation there. And if I go from my job, which pays the extra taxes that go towards whatever they go towards, but when you're self-employed, you have the 15.5% extra tax on top of your brackets. That's a lot. I would think I'd probably have to be making to stay where I'm at now, between that and health insurance. I'd probably be having to make 100 and 100 and 120 140,000 a year from this. And if vending really works out, then it could take off to that point. I just got another sale on eBay for the Mega Dragonite SAR from Ascended, or SIR from Ascended Heroes. Yeah, that was a big sale. That was a $1,200 sale almost. I'll check my notes too. $1,200 sale. Is that what it was? Yep, $11.96. Mega Dragonite SIR. That's crazy. You know, that was selling on TCG Player for about $850, and that's about a 15% margin over that. That's what I'm shooting for on most things. So 15% margin over TCG Player. I bought it for lower than that. So that was a good sale. I guess that brings me to one of my final things I wanted to talk about. And that is the true cost of grading. So I sold a PSA 10 card today that was kind of a different PSA 10. Looks a little different. It's not wrapped in plastic. It doesn't have a red label with the number 10 on it. But it is a very minty Jolteon SIR from Prismatic Evolutions. I bought this at the show for about 75%. Let me see if I can get a decent... It was a great looking card. So let's just say, in a perfect world, that PSA was still open for grading at $25 level. You send this card off. I mean, this guy robbed me. You know, the guy that bought this card, he got what I really believe is going to be a PSA 10. He got it for $275. You know, but what is the real cost of that? You send that card off. Let's just say 4-month wait time, $25. That's what it costs for the bare minimum grading. So you're into that card. I bought that card for, I think, about $150. So we'll call it even $200 would be the cost. That $200 of that card, that's what you'd have wrapped into it, plus 4 months of time. 4 months at least. PSA doesn't charge you up front for your grading fees. So that's good. CGC's kind of brutal on that, but the Fanatics is definitely the way to go. If you're grading with CGC at all, send it through Fanatics all day long. That's totally worth it. But anyway, $200 is your cost here. So that card is not sitting on your eBay store, not attracting people to your website, people to your display case at these events. It's one more point of sale, one more thing to catch somebody's eye. I've heard this a lot of different ways, that you want to be sending your cards off, and maybe that was before PSA shut down, and I started grading this entire operation, this entire JankNDthings 20 by 8 foot space. was purely from starting out, getting my childhood collection, grading it during COVID, and making some money off of that. Um, so I am all for grading, but if you have an outlet to be able to sell something like this and make, I had $150 into it. I sold it for 274, 275. Sorry. So after eBay fees and everything, I think I netted about $80. You know, I mean that's a 50% profit, just in a matter of 2 days. You know, um, I think maybe there's a time where PSA is back down to 4 weeks, but then at that point, I don't think we're going to be booming as hard as we are, and I don't think that shows and things like that are going to be going as crazy as they are. So, for right now, I am trying to sell shovels. Uh, I'm trying to sell shovels to people that just want the card, to people that want to grade the card. Um, but I'm trying to sell the shovel to get people to take on their side of the risk, take on the larger risk. This thing was a thing of beauty. 75% I bought it at 150 bucks roughly. The market was 196, I think. I sold it on eBay for 275. 50% profit in 4 days. I bought this Saturday. If I can do that at scale, I will do this all day long rather than grade. Um, there is all sorts of gold flowing through the rivers and in the mines and things like that you can focus on. But I think that if you can turn profits in 4 days time, or better yet, at the show, somebody traded something to me at 80%. They wanted something in the case. They did that. I got that thing out there. It was a PSA 8 Mewtwo promo card from the movie, the 2000 movie. I got that thing out there and priced it at, I think, like $100 or something. Somebody wanted that, and they were trading towards that. Just anything I can do to get more variety on the store, on the website. Scratch that. On the website, on the store, and in the display case, the better off I believe my operation is going to run. So, well, I think that's about it. Um, Try and strike gold at times. Try and find the things that are big plays at times, but it's a good thing to focus on little plays too. If you're selling $5 to $20 cards, you can sell at a premium all day long. It's part of the lipstick fallacy thing that everybody has money for a tube of lipstick in depression times. People can just afford it. That's just going to be something that's always going to be $20. $20 is nothing nowadays. It's crazy to think that, but I think video games are. I think a Switch 2 game is like $80. I don't have a Switch 2. I have a Switch 1. But I remember being a kid, a brand new game was, I think for GameCube, was like $40. I mean, that's not even that bad if you look at base set Charizard first edition compared to what that was when I was a kid. What was I doing with my allowance back then? What was I thinking? Not that first edition base Charizards were around, but the base Charizards were. We had a binder of like 18 of those. 9. Well, I think it was one or two pages full of base set Charizards. That my dad, he traded for him. He loved the Charizard. Thought it was really cool. A lot of people people in the neighborhood knew that he was the Charizard guy, and they'd come to him and ask if they could buy Charizard. So, very excited for the upcoming times of getting the website up and running, and hoping to direct traffic that way. And it's nice to be laying down like infrastructure and things like that, and really getting a handle on things, and knowing how to work your workflow and things like that, and be efficient. You know, I love efficiency. It feels so good when you get something figured out that just fits in perfectly with what you want to happen inside of your business. And that's the main reason why I want my own thing, is because I want to see things from a top down level and understand what needs to happen to be successful, to take the next steps, and drive business, and drive sales, and just be better, you know. So I think that's about all I got, guys. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. The link for the website will be in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. That would be fantastic. And if you made it this far, why don't you give me... I should make an emoji. I should figure out how to make an emoji for myself, and maybe I can give that to people. I don't know how to do that, but Jank Rocket. I don't know. Jank Rocket. Yeah. Jank and Rocket. The rocket emoji with the word Jank in front of it. I think that's a good way to end this. So, thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.